Developing now as we come on the air from Eureka.
First, the use of force.
The department responded to a call of an unclothed man running into traffic.
We take a close look at an incident in Ukiah.
That call resulted in this person's arrest, and that encounter included the use of force by Ukiah police officers.
And another seemingly similar situation in Eureka that ended much differently.
Training. 100% it's training.
The special report.
And the crippling cyber attack.
There should be no cause for hoarding gasoline.
Gas prices hit a 7-year high. This as the Colonial Pipeline shutdown spurs panic buying across the southeast.
The pipeline should be substantially operational by the end of this week.
How the shutdown of the biggest oil pipeline in the U.S. is impacting the average price of gas nationwide.
Also, the McKinleyville fire. 2 acres of vegetation set ablaze. We have the latest from CAL FIRE.
Plus, confusion over CDC guidance.
The return to normal doesn't look the same in every state. I'm Atrell Nashar in Washington with what's behind that variation and why the CDC is now under pressure to change some of its guidance.
And the loosening restrictions in Humboldt.
North Coast News at 6 on ABC 23 starts now.
I was responding as a backup officer to a naked individual over at Pat's Market, naked in the middle of the roadway.
Odd and potentially dangerous moments for Eureka police when a 911 call was made for a naked man acting erratically in the street last month. Good evening. Thank you for being here this Wednesday for North Coast News at 6. I'm Nazy, Javid.
And I'm Michael Patterson. Leading us off at this hour, we're taking a look at how law enforcement approaches active situations and how they come to decide to use force and when they decide not to.
ABC 23's Riley Carroll has been digging deeper into 2 separate incidents of North Coast police departments facing seemingly similar situations with drastically different outcomes. Riley Carroll has the special report that you'll only see here on North Coast News.
Police use of force. It's a topic of national interest. And right here locally, we're looking at 2 different police departments, 2 similar 911 calls, and 2 naked suspects in the street. Now, how those 2 events unfolded looks very different, and both incidents caught on camera. On the one hand, a peaceful arrest right here in Eureka, ending with a commendation from the chief. On the other hand, a dramatic arrest in Ukiah, ending with the chief calling for an investigation into use of force. What you're seeing here happening April 1st in Ukiah. Ukiah Police Chief Justin Wyatt.
This department responded to a call of an unclothed man running into traffic. That call resulted in this person's arrest, and that encounter included the use of force by Ukiah police officers.
This prompting an investigation into the incident's escalation and whether police principles and protocols were followed. I wanted to learn more about the approach taken by officers in the video, so I reached out to the Ukiah Police Chief 3 times. He deferred me to the city manager so I could get to the city attorney. None of them were willing to speak with me on camera, but the UPD chief said, quote, there will be a full and independent investigation. I later found out that investigation is being done by the city itself. But the city did also say they're seeking an independent review of existing UPD policies. And the city council held a special meeting in the days following the incident, saying they share the community's concern and are awaiting the findings of the investigation for next steps. Less than a month earlier, more than 150 miles away, the Eureka Police Department responding to a similar report of a naked man acting erratically in the road.
He obviously was in sort of I would base it off of a mixture of a mental health issue going on, as well as possibly some narcotics or alcohol. We didn't want him to start running down the streets and us get into some sort of foot pursuit with a naked individual.
Responding EPD Officer Raymond Nunez telling me teamwork was key.
I just remember my partner giving some good details regarding how agitated he was. And then when I got on scene, we quickly kind of shut down those avenues of approach for other vehicles so he wouldn't get hit by a vehicle. So.
Has he done this before? Yeah, me neither.
And that's when training came into play.
In regards to the logistics or just kind of surrounding him, me and my crew have been working together for a while now, so it was a lot of nonverbal communication, honestly. Trying to talk him down, which instantly my partner started doing, and then another partner showed up, and he additionally tried to talk to the guy, but it was clear that he was not in his right state of mind.
Then, after several minutes of this strategic circle approach closing in, EPD officers take the man down without incident.
Well, they got him good. They haven't even tasered him.
It begs the question, how did Eureka Police handle this situation without using force? The answer, Nunez says, lies in education.
Training. 100% it's training. There's no really other answer. It's just training.
Both Eureka and Ukiah police say they suspect mental health or substance use played a role in those incidents, and Riley will be digging into that role of mental health that it plays in police dealings with citizens in a follow-up report 2 weeks from today on Wednesday, May 26th. Stay tuned for that.
Gas stations in the southeast are reporting shortages in fuel. This as the shutdown of the Colonial Pipeline dragged on before being restarted earlier today. What you're looking at right here on your screen is a time-lapse video of long lines in North Carolina. More than 1,000 gas stations in the country say they are running out of fuel. Analysts say it's due to panic buying among drivers as the pipeline was closed earlier this week due to a cyber attack. But the White House is urging drivers not to panic buy.
There should be no cause for hoarding gasoline, especially in light of the fact that the pipeline should be substantially operational by the end of this week and over the weekend.
Officials do say states impacted by the shutdown may still feel a supply crunch over the next few days. The Colonial Pipeline delivers about 45% of the fuel consumed on the East Coast. And we did a quick check on gas prices here in California and specifically on the North Coast. Humboldt County seeing close to an average of $4.24 a gallon, and Del Norte with an average of $4.16. Both are higher than the statewide average of $4.11.
We go now to a vegetation fire erupting this afternoon in Timberland, east of McKinleyville. ABC 23's Marissa Papanek was at the scene and went live on Facebook as this was happening. She joins us live now in the studio with an update from officials. Marissa, how big was the fire and what are we learning about it tonight?
Well, Nazy, CAL FIRE tells me right now forward progress has stopped and officials are now in mop-up mode. But they say crews will still be at the scene for several hours to ensure the fire is out, and that's because they say it was burning in heavy fuel. You can see all the smoke coming up from there out of those trees. This video was taken from Green Diamond property off Murray Road. The fire was discovered a little before 2 this afternoon, and CAL FIRE says it grew to about 2 acres before they got it under control. A helicopter doing water drops, as you see here, and several ground crews also going down into that wooded area. Thankfully, no structures burned and no injuries were reported. And while the cause of the fire is still under investigation, CAL FIRE says 95% of wildfires in California are caused by human activity. So another reminder that with more hot, dry conditions ahead, one less spark means one less wildfire. Live in the studio, Marissa Papanek, back to you.
Thank you, Marissa. And coming up on North Coast News, California's mask mandate. Governor Gavin Newsom alluding to changes to guidance as early as next month. Though that's different than what he said earlier this year.
And did that contradiction sound confusing? You are not alone. It feels like it changes every 5 minutes. In just a bit, our national correspondent takes a look at the contrast in reopening plans at the state and national levels. Plus,
things still staying warm out there as we're heading into our Thursday forecast, but big changes as we're looking ahead towards the end of the week and that coming weekend. Low pressure center sliding through. Not going to bring a whole lot of rain, but the chance for some thunderstorms and lightning. We'll take a look at that coming up.
Thunderstorms and lightning could mean more fires. Darren, we look forward to that. That's all when we come back in 2 minutes. The time is 6:08, and I am Nazy Javid.
I'm Michael Patterson, and you're watching North Coast News.